and welcome back to the Broken Respawn podcast, where we talk about all things gaming and other random stuff that we're interested in. Today, I am joined by SarinTal.
Yo.
And a new guest for this evening, CaedesEnder. Over on the far side, as the Moog. Moogle? What character is that?
Moogle.
His name is Rog, you leave him be.
Okay.
Death Moogle.
How have we all been?
Let's not start.
Yes. Those of you may notice that it's been a little while since the last podcast, and it's not been Sarin's fault, but it's been because of various events that kind of happened around Sarin. It's Sarin's fault. But, yes.
Oh, what has happened in the past couple of months that we've missed?
It feels like months. It's only been 1 month, mate. And how are you doing, Caedes?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
Excellent.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you could make it.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to do the radio show thing of thanks for having me on.
Thanks for having me on. It's been amazing. So, what has everyone been up to? Sarin, we'll start with you because yes, it's been a bit of a month.
Thanks. What have I been up to? I've been running around with my head cut off, trying to repair my back after the workplace injury. That's been the biggest thing that's kind of had me, not around for most things. But other than that, I went down the dangerous dark hole of coding.
You mad man.
Brave man.
Why?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why?
You!
Me? Don't bring me into this.
I'm bringing you into this. If you want this done, do it yourself.
Fair
and then
enough,
you grumble it, and then you grumble and do it for me anyway.
I mean, yes.
But no, I need a career change, so I started learning how to code because I figure, what better desk job than a job where I could, do from home potentially. Potentially
From home it's the way forward.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it says the work that says. Didn't you take a pay cut or something, Caedes, to get a work from home job or something? Or...
Oh no, quite the opposite. I got made redundant last year, got myself a new job working from home, and have now been given permission to essentially leave the country and keep the job with a pay rise. So I've gone the other way.
That's impressive. Okay, well done.
That's what I need. Yeah. Go on vacation. Go wherever you want, so long as you put your hours in.
Sadly, Canada's one of the countries I cannot go to because insurance won't allow it.
Really? Why not Canada? What?
Canada, America, and Japan were three that were big no-no for the company. So.
Right. It might be.
I think it was to do with working hours. The hours I work wouldn't be legally approved or something. I didn't question it.
Okay.
In Canada?
That was mainly Japan, I think.
That was mainly Japan. Probably.
Well, you'd be working during the day in Japan.
Well, I'd be rotating still.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Fair enough. But what have you been up to for the past? Well, for the last while.
I guess if we work backwards, I've been messing with my 3D printer. I've just finished watching all of Arrowverse, which is start to finish 26 days.
Jesus. Is that solid?
And that's not, it's taken me 26 days. That is, if you started now, you would finish in 26 days.
Oh shit.
And me and a friend have decided that we can't go back to short playlists anymore. We can't just watch a season here and a season there. So we've built a combined 70s to 2000s classic sci-fi playlist, which is currently sitting at 58 days, sorry. So that's my plan for I'll see you all at Christmas, essentially.
Yeah. Jesus. That is quite the list. But no, I mean, in terms of games, you've been beating on the new Total War Warhammer?
I've been enjoying Total War Warhammer. The new patch for that just came out, which adds in mods, and which has made the game very, very interesting. And I'm kind of looking into modding it myself for a couple of little features. Other than that, I'm going through the classic Final Fantasies at the moment. Just beat 3 this week.
So
there you go.
Okay.
3 down, 12 to go.
Yeah.
Speaking of classic games, I got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, so I started playing through that.
Oh, sweet.
That one's been fun.
I still haven't played Mass Effect, and everyone keeps saying... not everyone keeps saying, but they probably all keep... They probably say, no, Sliver, get on, play Mass Effect. I'm just like...
I just compile it down to, Sliver, have you done the thing?
Shut up.
The one that most people shout at me for is Mass Effect, also Witcher. I've never played Witcher 3.
No.
I haven't played any of the Witcher games.
Yeah, neither have I.
I get yelled at because I'm Polish, so...
Well, yeah.
What do you mean you mean you haven't played your national heritage? No, I'm sorry.
That's illegal, surely.
Like one game that's come out of Poland. Wait, no. There's got to be more than. There's got to be another game that's come out of Poland, right?
Polish game. They have a sale on Steam once a year for the Polish game devs.
Really?
They've got a really big game dev system over there.
Okay.
Well, community.
I didn't actually know that. I never see that go past.
So, in short, me learning the code is just part of my DNA. Got it.
Exactly, yeah.
Excellent.
It's inevitable.
It's all coming together. Ah, dear. Well then. Yeah, and also, have you been... You've been doing much Star Wars, or... Recently, Sarin, or...
Oh, I've taken a little bit of a back burner on Knights of the Republic. It's, as far as MMO goes, I love the story. It's just one of those games where I need a bigger group of people to play with, and I've got one of the consistent members from my community is Sergeant Perry. He's actually upholding the guild. He's able to do a lot of the things on his own. He's, for me, grinding has never been a big thing in the game. So I'll probably go back, play some more of the story. Right now, I'm taking a little bit of a break for it. But the one thing is they finally fixed the final boss fight where he no longer breaks you through the floor.
Oh, that's useful. That's good. Yeah, no, because you had to, what was it, like hundreds of attempts or something stupid, and you had to stand on a pillar in the right place. And...
Yeah, close to 100 attempts.
Okay.
But yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
It was not even 100, maybe about 50.
Enough to make it feel like a chore.
I had to swap over my character from melee to ranged in order to do it. Was the only way.
Right. That sounds like it's yeah, that's gonna suck a bit.
But they fixed that, so it's no longer a problem. So if you guys have not done the final boss for 7.0 patch, go do it. It's a fun fight. It's an interesting story. It ties in very well to the cinematic that they had for the new season. As far as the notes that we get here from our, behind the scenes gremlin Kremlik, they're not done.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna get hit.
Possibly.
Just a random slipper flies out off screen.
Yeah. Now, have you ever played the Old Republic, Caedes? I don't know if...
I tried. I went into it with the wrong mindset, though, I'll be honest. It just felt a little bit clunky for me. So I will admit I played it for about a month, but I didn't enjoy it as much as most people did.
Fair enough.
What class did you play?
I believe I was Dark Side, so probably Bounty Hunter.
All right. Cool. Create a new character, go agent, and play the story. That's all you need to do.
I mean, that's a good segue into Final Fantasy is going to take up too much time for me to start another MMO.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because, there's been a massive update to Final Fantasy, hasn't there? Well, I think we'll change to that subject. Is that it? Final Fantasy FFXIV.
Yeah, it's
Realm Reborn, is it?
It's Endwalker now technically, but
that's close.
This is the first content patch that has contained story not related to a Realm Reborn since it released in 2012, I think it was.
Okay.
So it's been one ongoing story for 10 years, and yesterday they dropped the first content patch that is not related to it. So we finally finished that story and moving on. It's been a bit of a journey.
10 years for a story.
10 years.
I mean, I say that.
Every single boss, every single raid, every single dungeon and progress you've made in the game for the last decade has all been related to incidents that took place in the first game. That's how long they've managed to keep that story relevant and going and sensible.
Damn.
That's impressive from a story maker's perspective. Like, how much of that... I wonder how much of that actually came out, how much of that they designed in right at the beginning, and how much of it is like, right, how do we make this work now? Because we brought in this big boss, and this big boss, and now, wait.
There's definitely some elements of that, because there's a couple of old raids where the bosses are literally... I only found this out this week, but the bosses from one of the raids are just the end bosses from Final Fantasy III. It's the Guardians of the Crystals and then the final boss. But some of those bosses are then story relevant themselves in 14. So there is definitely an element of, we can make that fit, rather than, yeah, no, it's all planned out from the start.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they've got a 10-year plan at the beginning, that would be, yeah. I mean, probably the same as Star Wars: The Old Republic, because how long's that storyline been running?
That's actually been about 10 years. Just over 10 years. That was the big thing. And it's all, everything's after the Knights of the Old Republic games.
Okay. Is it all one big storyline like Final Fantasy's ended up is, or is it sort of broken down?
It is one big storyline. It is one big storyline, and but there is a 5-year time jump.
Right.
That happened in, I want to say, the second or third season before this current one. Okay. So,
yeah, I know it's from Our Man in the Sky. The Final Fantasy 14 one wrapped up 1.0 story as well, and there were 2 expansions in hand. Okay, so that means that they wrote this one while, what was the previous expansion to this?
Shadowbringer, I think. I may have got that wrong.
I wouldn't know. I've played 15 hours, maybe 20 of Final Fantasy and got nowhere.
Yeah. So I think basically the logic there is while we were playing through Heavensward or Heavensword, whichever way it's actually pronounced, I'm still never sure. While we were playing through that one, they'd already got the framework in place for the next expansion and the current expansion. So they're kind of working 6 years ahead of themselves, or 4 years ahead of themselves.
That's a long time. But then again, it takes a lot of time to develop these sort of things anyway, as Sarin is finding out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what else have they got on there? They're only reworking the changes in there though. Like, you've now got AI NPCs and stuff, and supposedly you can solo most of things.
I've not really. Yeah, Final Fantasy
or Star Wars.
Sorry, Final Fantasy. Sorry, yeah, we've been bouncing between the two subjects.
Yeah, one of the big things they've released in this patch is that they've geared the entire what's called the main story quest, the MSQ. They've geared that more towards solo play, but obviously it's still meant to be played as a group.
Yeah.
But you can now quite comfortably get through it on your own as well. You've always had the ability to recruit NPCs to go with you on missions. That's one of the end games from about 2 expansions ago. You can literally hire, recruit, train, skill swap a group of people who you send out on missions and can come with you to dungeons and things. So,
okay, interesting. I mean, that's good. That's good, especially for the older content, because, like, say me coming through it now, or Sarin, if you decided to come through it. It would be no. I got no time either.
No, I barely have enough time to show up for this. You think I'm going to pick up another MMO?
But it means it's good that it doesn't mean that, like, although no, I know Caedes would come back and give me a hand because I know you enjoy the story and beating random things in the face.
And can level an alt class.
And can level, and yeah. In fact, that's what you did. You started another class for that for the run through. But it means you don't have to. You're not pulling someone back that doesn't want to. Yeah. Which is another. Yeah. Which is. I mean, that's something that I'm finding in Guild Wars. Is because of how far the story has gone along, there's not many playing the older stuff. I mean, that's about to change because they're releasing the Living World Expansion 1 again, if you've known that in Guild Wars, which was the first bit of their storyline that covers the entire world. And that's when they changed a load of things, and no one really liked it. So they kind of, I don't know if they undid it, but they kind of stopped changing the world as it was on the fly.
Yeah,
but
I tried Guild Wars, couldn't.
No.
I loved Guild Wars 1, couldn't get into Guild Wars 2.
Pity. I need to get back to playing it because I have got the whole set, but that's for another day.
Where's my key prompt? Sliver, have you done the thing?
Have I done the thing? Yeah, it's a fair point. Yeah. I mean, the other thing I see from 14 is they've actually brought in a lot of the boss ability things from the modern expansions, and they've sort of retroactively gone back and changed the bosses to actually show. I think it's the attack effects, stack markers and stuff.
Yeah, so they've got quite. I'm not going to say they're unique, but they're done in a fun way. Where instead of just the tank is tanking damage, the healer is healing, they will have like everybody's got a stack on this to reduce the damage, to spread the damage across the party, or there's a tank buster which the tank needs to hit but it needs mitigation on, and then there's like double stack tank busters, which means you have to have 2 people in there or they're going to die. So they do quite a lot with visual effects and markers as part of the bosses, and they've spread those backwards through the story now to make the older bosses more consistent.
Okay, that's good, because I can imagine that being like you get to the first boss that turns up and you're like, what are all these things? Oh god, I'm dead.
Oh yeah, if you ever want to give yourself a headache, go and look at any of the Pandemonium Savage raids and the how to beat them. You will not understand it. It's not possible.
I mean, I watched the one that you were playing like several months ago, just before Endwalker came out. Endwalker, the latest one, wasn't it?
Endwalker's the current one, yeah.
Yeah. And I was watching all the goddamn patterns on the ground, just like, oh no, you've got to dodge these. But they're showing up on the ground. Wait, what? I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Never seen that. Never seen that sort of thing before.
There's wind effects that will move you into AoE, so you've got to stand in the AoE to move out of. In fact, I think it was Isamat I was fighting, giant gold dragon. That when you watched, if I remember rightly, and that's got a plus minus mechanic where if you've got a plus above your head, you need to stand in the minus and vice versa. And then the boss is rampaging around in lines, and you've got to avoid him while staying in your designated areas, and that's an easy fight compared to some of the current stuff.
World of Warcraft days.
The way I've been explaining it to people is if you imagine you took every single mechanic from Karazhan in Warcraft, and that's one boss. So if you took all of the mechanics, and that's just boss 1, they are really intense fights.
So you kind of
so gratifying when you beat them.
Yeah.
I guess that's what is probably the big draw is like it requires skill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can't just rely on the healer. Me as a DPS messing up and forcing the healer to heal me can be a wipe. It really is. Every single person is relevant. It's not just, I'm a ranged DPS, I can stand at the edge and AFK the entire fight. Nah, not a chance. That's one thing I think Warcraft did badly. They were way too passive.
I never played all that, so like if and when I get up to that level in either Final Fantasy or in Guild Wars, I could be like, okay, this is an entirely new thing for me. Because I remember, I think I did 1 or 2 mini not bigger bosses in Guild Wars 1, but a lot of the time I think we just at the time we were just like bored of trying to get through the bosses, so we just paid someone to solo it for us. Which was kind of a pity, because I remember one of them, I stood in a cave around the corner from the boss, and I poked my head round. I was like, oh, that's a pretty I died. Like, I literally poked my head around the corner and imploded. I was like, okay, right, never mind then.
Man, I remember leading raids in Star Wars, like, early on flashpoints. Do you guys remember, you guys know the ring stack puzzle? You got to stack the rings, you know, from big to smallest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was one of those mechanics in a boss fight.
Okay.
And it's like I had it figured out to the least amount of moves, and they're like, "You're in charge of this fight now." I'm like, "Damn it!"
Never do anything that you're good at for free. You know the rules.
Oh hell no! I got first pick on the the loot drop for that boss.
Ah, that's always nice, actually, getting first pick. No.
Right, so.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we mentioned Guild Wars 2 shortly. I remember that there was something in there specifically that the season 1 content is coming out with 5 chapters free forever, which is good.
Nice.
Because that's the Living World Season 1 is like, once you've done the very first base game stuff, that's the next thing in the storyline, as it were. And for the last several years, all you get is a cutscene to go over what was like several weeks worth of in-game events and stuff like that. So they're bringing that back. They finally figured out a way to bring that all back. In fact, that's on episode 1 is on the 19th. Okay.
So this weekend then?
Yeah. So, God, actually on Tuesday.
Hmm.
Yeah, Tuesday after Easter. So once everyone's like recovered from having too much chocolate.
Never,
definitely
never. It's like being drunk. How you prevent yourself from having a hangover? Keep drinking.
Yeah.
I'm just need clarification. Never too much chocolate or never recovering?
Yes.
Fair point.
Probably something the diabetics shouldn't be saying.
Yeah, no, dude. Let's get you diabetic chocolate. Wait, no, that stuff tastes like cat food.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Don't ask me why I know what cat food tastes like. But yeah.
Now I need to hear. How drunk
Young
were you?
and stupid. Season 1 was 1.5 years.
Now you're just stupid?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so 1.5 years long. That's a long time for a planned like ever-changing story to come out on a world. Like, is there any equivalent of that on anything else? Like,
I mean, I would say the actual time span itself is pretty regular for an MMO. I mean, if you think of World of Warcraft as the basic MMO, most of their expansions go for 1.5 years. You've got 6 months of downtime, and then you've got the new expansion. So,
but that's
Star Wars hasn't had a new expansion in how long?
Yeah, but this is more like
they do it like Elder Scrolls Online, though, don't they? Where they have content patches constantly, which I think is a better way of doing it.
Yeah, it comes out.
I mean, they are saying that their constant patches will be over the next. They're going to have multiple patches over the next year or so. So there's going to be a lot. I mean, I know I'm going back to this as well. You might as well just keep it on the general chat tag in here.
All the MMOs.
What was it? The biggest thing that they introduced with 7.0 and 7.1 is look customizability. So if you don't like the look of a particular gear set or weapon, you could literally just open a new tab and go, this is what my Barbie doll's looking like today.
That's fair.
Yeah, endgame should always be cosmetics.
Yeah.
The more you can let people customize. I mean, any MMO developer, listen to me right now. The more you can make people pay you money to just customize how they look, the more successful you will be.
Yeah.
Everything else is irrelevant.
Star Wars has that pretty down packed with the cartel store.
Yeah. That's always the thing as well. Like, never put game content behind a paywall. Like, apart from like a big release, you know, like a major DLC or something like that as a bundle, but never put like never put content releases behind microtransactions.
I'm gonna, you know what? But here's how they've done it: is the newest content is available to subscribers, and then anything before this season is available to free-to-play players.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the way Warcraft does it as well. So that makes sense.
Which is nice because you can enjoy the story. You're just behind on everything else. Honestly, like I don't mind the way Star Wars does it. Like, in the end of the day, if they're just running a free game, they're not earning the money to develop new stuff.
Yeah, I know, and that's the thing. There is a fine line between having like being able to keep supporting the game, because at the end of the day, if they're not constantly making some form of money from either subscriptions or new purchases or selling cosmetics, then what happens? The game closes and you no longer have anything that you had in there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that happen far too many times. I can't think of a name or one off the top of my head. That's how good they were.
What was the one where you played as the gods? God, what was it?
Godfall?
No, about 7 years ago now. I can't think. Really, it was all based on the graphics and everything was new and shiny, and you played as some sort of weird techno sorcery god guy, and then everything was pay to win, and the game just collapsed within a year.
Any time you got pay to win is like either you're in a gacha game sort of thing, or like they've completely missed the mark. Like, because I mean that's something that's happened with watching I think it was Josh Strife Hayes I was watching this of actually, which is someone that Kremlik introduced me to. Was Realm of the Mad God, which is it's a roguelike MMO. Roguelike MMO, I think is the correct term. You don't get any upgrades, and once your character's dead, they're dead. They lose everything that was on them.
Okay, like full Iron Man.
Oof.
Yeah. Once they die, they're gone. And you have to create a new character. Yeah, but you only go to level 20. And he was going over like the new player experience is bad. He did an actual full review of Kremlis has come up with it, Skyforge.
Yeah, I was just googling it there.
Yeah. But
that was 2014.
2014. Holy crap! I don't even remember that one.
Like, it's not worth remembering.
No. And the problem is with that, the servers are dead, the game's dead. You can't. I'm guessing you literally cannot download it, cannot play it, and there's probably not even a community around.
I weirdly think it's still going on Switch. They did the sensible thing of turning it free to play, getting rid of the pay to win, and then making a Switch version. I think
offline or something.
Yeah.
Okay. But on Realm of the Mad God, Josh Strife Hayes. I'm fairly sure it was Josh Strife Hayes. He went over. Oh my god, I can't type while talking. He went over the game and how it sucked for new players and how the game just sucked in general. And he had all the players like the worst MMO ever, even. And he went over it all, and all the players went, "No, you're wrong about it because this. It's bad because that." And these are like the people that have put hundreds of thousands of hours in on this game. And it's entirely because the game doesn't start until you've hit level 20 and gone and died a few times.
Yeah.
Don't kill us, Josh. Yes. Yeah. He's actually two videos released one after the other, and he literally went over like it's two 20-minute videos, and I need to go back and watch the original one.
I think I've actually watched that. That does ring a bell. Yeah,
Why I Was Wrong was the second video for it, he goes over why the game sucks, and what they've done is they've pushed hard on the monetization, so hard that the only people that are paying are the long-term players that have been playing, and they're only paying because they've been paying and playing. That's it. They're getting the only reason people are coming in is because quite literally the community is going, we need new players. Let's help them get through to where we are, to the end game, to the actual grindy bit. It's like Lost Ark. It's almost like Lost Ark, but not. You can still get to the end game without getting completely burnt out by it and dying. Like, because Lost Ark, the entire point of that is you get through the leveling thing and the random storyline, and then the rest of it is just it's Korean MMO grinding. That's the game. I've been watching Giant Waffle play that, and it's pretty. It's interesting. I like some of the technical things they've got that I don't think I've seen in other MMOs. But it's not. Again, I look at it and like, unless I'm in a grindy mood, it's not the game for me.
Yeah, I mean, Korean grinders are. It is literally a genre of itself. It's bigger in the East than it is in the West, and they keep trying to bring them over here, and they just do not work.
Yeah.
or very few do. I mean, there are examples like Warframe which they take that model and somehow make it interesting, but
yeah, they've got enough things around it, but for it, yeah, because Warframe's your big, that's big or second big MMO
Steam's got 1,200 hours recorded, and I'm pretty sure I've got another 400 before Steam started logging it.
Wow.
It's the most expensive free-to-play game I've ever played.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's free to play.
Yeah,
you can do everything for free.
It did used to be that you could do everything, but you couldn't have all your weapons at once. So once you'd filled up your weapon slots, you would either have to buy a new weapon slot with real money, or delete a weapon to make room for a new one, kind of thing.
And by weapon, a lot of people will think characters.
It was weapons, classes, skills, swords, guns, pistols, that kind of thing. They have now changed that, so you can earn those in-game as well. So literally the only things that aren't earnable are cosmetics. That's it. All content. There is absolutely no pay-to-win element.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you want cosmetics and you have Amazon Prime, just go on to Prime Gaming and collect the cosmetics once a month.
Yeah, exactly. And they do a very clever thing of aggressively time gating their content. So when you go out and you farm a new Warframe, a new suit, for example, a new class, and then it takes 12 hours to build each individual part, which fair enough, you can build all 4 at once, that's fine. But then it takes 3 days to combine them. Or you can pay to rush it. And you're like, well, yeah, okay, I'll pay a little bit now to be able to play it. Rather than if it was just, oh no, you've got to buy the class, you just go, no, fuck it, I'll live without it.
Yeah. You say, I've done this much, and now and I could wait 12 hours or 3 days.
Exactly.
But it's my weekend and I want to play it now, damn it. That's actually a really good model. I
am much more likely to buy to pay real money for something that I can earn and don't want to spend the time earning than I am to pay for something that is only pay to buy. That's only locked behind a paywall. I'm not interested in that. The game isn't. You don't need it to beat the game. You don't. That's just something extra. But if I can earn it, I kind of don't want to, and I want it now. And that's where my money goes.
That's similar with Guild Wars 2, actually, because in Guild Wars 2 you can trade in-game gold for the gems of the gem store, and vice versa. Literally, you can. It has a RMT system built in, which is a really good way of doing it. Like what I like about
the Guild Wars system as well is you could trade gold between players.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the other thing. That's something that I wish that more MMOs would incorporate. The real life currency, would have more value if that could be traded as well in game between players.
Yeah, RMT. Yeah, and I think the way that Guild Wars has done it is the better way to do it than straight up just RMTs, just like having real money transactions in general. Because no one wants to see that they've just spent 25 quid on a digital sword. Yeah. No one wants to see that.
Oh yeah.
But also they can't. They don't. A big thing comes out of getting the money back out again. So you don't really want that to happen. Because if there's money going back out, then that's money going back out of the game, as it were, and of the dev studio and everything. So having it like, yes, you can either buy the gems, which you can then transfer into gold, or you can earn the gold to buy the gems, but you can't go from gems to cash. Not through the game, at least. I'm fairly sure there's real money. There's like third-party places you can do these, and don't use those. It's probably not a good idea. They're probably half of them are probably scams.
I kind of don't mind people buying stuff in games. I mean, I do it myself.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I've said to you before, I have a value threshold. A game. If I buy a game, I want it to cost me £1 per hour.
Yes.
At the absolute minimum. And I've probably spent about 800 quid on Warframe over the years. And it still works out at about 75 pence per hour. So I've still got value for money out of it.
It's a really good metric, that. Because
not mad about spending 800 quid on a video game, because I've enjoyed every minute of it. So
this is why I'm looking. I'd love to see the numbers for my Star Citizen, because I know how much I've spent on Star Citizen. It's not a small amount, and I hope I've so far got enough hours to warrant it to be in the even if it's in the. I know how much I spent. If it's in that range, even if it's in the £2 an hour range, I'll be reasonably happy.
Yeah.
At the moment, I could guarantee, like, when they come out, if and when they come out at the moment, everyone's just like, oh god. But I will put a load more hours into it because it's a really I really like that game. I want to get myself a full flight setup for it. But like, I mean, Space Engineers and Atlas, I each have over 1,000 hours in each of them. I think I spent less than 30 quid on each.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and that's the thing with Star Citizen. Has there anything actually been really? I know it's not as part of the notes, but has there been anything new that you guys have seen
in Star Citizen in 1.17? I think is the new. I've forgotten which bloody patch number they're on. I've kind of been ignoring it for a bit, but there's a few new things coming in they're working on. But I'm kind of it's all around the.
See, again, I guess bigger question is I'm very interested in when Squadron 42 is going to be live.
They keeping that card close to their chest. They don't show anything from Squadron 42. They don't. They suppose. I think what I've heard, and this I don't know if this is official or anything like that. So don't quote me on this. Anybody that's watching this after the fact, go check the sources themselves because I don't know what they are. That they've done a lot. Most of the white boxing is done. They're working mainly on the story itself and the animations and stuff. So it's all like, it's the actual core nitty-gritty stuff. The actual story itself is being worked on. They've got most of the stuff because all the tech as well that goes into it is coming into the main Star Citizen game. So like,
I'm trying to pull up the roadmap right now.
Yeah, well, they've thrown out the roadmap. They've stopped showing. They've changed the roadmap.
Oh, there's still a roadmap here.
Yeah,
the roadmap is non-canon at this point.
No,
they quite literally went to the roadmap and gutted it. They stopped because they kept. They used to be able to look directly at their current roadmap, and you would see things literally moved in and out of current version of next version, and people were getting pissy at it. It's like, oh my god, I want my ship that I've spent loads of money on. Why did you buy it then?
I mean, okay, those kind of people, I don't understand why they're complaining. They understand that this game is in development, right?
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing for me. I understand this game is in development. I understand that I spent money on a game that is in development. I know it is not going to be developed anytime soon.
Yeah. Am
I mad about it? No. Am I going to be excited when the game is done and I can play it, enjoy it with the people that I've, built a community around? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like backing it's literally like backing a game in early access. This is literally what it is. I think they were the first. Was Star Citizen the first Kickstarter video game that's still going?
I mean, not the first Kickstarter game. Like, there have been other Kickstarter games, but it's definitely, a Kickstarter for a AAA supposed to be game.
Yeah. Well, they didn't start as a AAA thing, but that's what they're aiming at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Kremlik says people think they're investors. They jumped 11 grand into Star Citizen. It's just like, I mean, I know, I kind of roughly, I know roughly how much people like Morphologist has put into it, but also how much money he's earned from it, that content. He's a big, Morphologist, if you're not familiar with him, is a big Star Citizen creator, and the Armco community came about because of Star Citizen. Which is one that myself, Caedes is a regular orange bod over there.
I was forced into it. I protested.
Yeah. Means he organises events and stuff.
Yeah,
and I end up subbing for him every now and again.
Yeah, they literally was.
Best shit up.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, Armco was literally created. I think it was originally going to be like Last Stand Gamers, Sage, Morph, Wasted. It was going to be the full works, wasn't it? They wanted to set up a huge online community in it. And then they just all realised that it was never going to work because the game was never going to come out. So 3 of them decided to go their own way, and 3 of them stuck together and made Armco.
Yeah, because Sage and Last Stand and I've forgotten the third guy. Dragon?
It begins with T. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know Sage has almost fallen off the internet, Ecto Sage, and Last Stand Game is still going reasonably strong, I hope. But Captain Shack, Morphologist, and Wasted. I mean, apart from the fact that Morph and Shack haven't managed to get into a game properly with Wasted and Shaq haven't managed to get in a game with Morph because of time zones for ages is just annoying, but they're still doing the thing, and everyone crosses over quite well.
I mean, he moved over to Taiwan for his, or Thailand, sorry, for his archaeology degree, didn't he? So,
not archaeology.
Not archaeology, architecture.
Yeah, begin with an A. Architecture degree. Yeah, so he's doing that as well, which is why you get the architect reviews on Star Citizen ships, and they're actually really interesting because it's a good look into how sort of thing how an architect would go about these sort of things as well.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt, but it's like, I'm a gamer, not an archaeologist.
Trow. What? Oh dear.
I mean, you can be both. You could be a digital forensic archaeologist. That is literally a job title that exists.
Does exist. I know a friend or two of mine actually have done that or been very associated with it. In fact, I watched a talk by someone who was a digital forensic archaeologist and analyst, I think is what they actually say. It was like, yes, I can actually, like, he could tell whether a photo has been doctored digitally without looking at it. It's just like, okay, right, what?
Yeah, that's more the digital forensic side of things, which was a job I applied for a long time ago, but did not get. Oh well.
I was just quickly looking around for the USB pen. I've got a USB pen that I've got that was used for at an event. Or you got this in one of those baggies you get from the police when they're passing evidence around. It was in an evidence bag, signed and everything. As it's like, this is how you do it, and this is why you do it, and this is and how to analyze those properly. I was just like, yeah, it's really interesting, and I managed to do nothing with it.
It's fascinating until you realise that your entire career will end up being looking at porn and murder pictures. That is where your career is headed. And if you don't have the stomach for it, don't even start.
No, it's just
hard pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're into that sort of thing, but not the murder and porn pictures, but into the digital forensics side of things, have a look at and this is for any viewers that see this now or later. Have a look into the people that do file recovering, because it's similar. Yeah. It's actually the similar thoughts and stuff, including like the people that almost live in clean rooms. Literally taking a hard drive apart and replacing parts inside the hard drive, like the heads and everything, to make it work again so they can get the data off. You can make bank on this. We're talking.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We're talking £10,000-20,000 to fix a hard drive just to get the data off.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if using today's news. Imagine if that was a bit of evidence in a court case against Johnny Depp. How much would people be paying for that? That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or like, I think the more common one is it's one of the main backup hard drives for a bank.
Yeah. True.
How much are they going to pay? They just basically hand you a check. You've got to fix it because it's from their bank.
Right.
That sort of level. But that's yeah.
You get paid when you fix it. Otherwise, the money's locked in there.
Oh, isn't there this is a story I heard a long time ago, but there is a guy who is, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he has a busted hard drive with about 2 million's worth of crypto on there.
Oh god,
not a busted hard drive. Okay, it's not a busted hard drive. It is, because I think he's
locked out or something. Yeah,
he's from Canada. At least I know that for sure. He has it encrypted and he forgot the password.
Whoops.
You just allow yourself to sleep every night.
Yeah.
So he's willing to pay upwards, I think it was like 50% of what's on there to get it decrypted.
That's quite something. And I know, like, the encryption levels that they use, that if you try and brute force it, before anyone thinks about, oh yeah, I'll just brute force it. Yeah, okay, we'll see you next millennia. Some of them, heat death of the universe level of encryption.
And that's assuming the disk doesn't auto wipe as well.
Right.
Yeah, that's
which I think was part of the story, that he's only got a limited number of attempts before it does just wipe.
That's insane. I mean, there was the other one that was like, oh yeah, my laptop. I threw out the laptop that had like 5 or 6 bitcoins on because it was when Bitcoin was worth like 20 pence a piece. And he's been. I don't know if he's still digging in the landfill, but at the time of its peak at 60k each.
That is another one. Yeah, he wants permission to get onto the landfill to find it because he reckons he's narrowed down where it is, and they're refusing to let him in for health and safety reasons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, that was like the
crazy.
I mean, bringing it randomly back around to video games. That was like the long lost SNES or NES game for ET, where they threw them all in the garbage, and they actually dug them back out again. That
wasn't long lost. That was deliberately thrown in a landfill just to get rid of them.
Yeah. And then people played it to find out why, and they were like, "Yep, this can go back in the bin." It was bad. It was real bad.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
God. I mean, that's an entire. I think it's on Netflix. An entire video on that. It's a brilliant little thing. But yes. Oh.
Speaking of Lost and Found.
Speaking of Lost and Found.
Speaking of Lost and Found, Cyberpunk's getting an expansion next year?
Wait, what?
It's just...
Okay.
Cyberpunk 2077 is getting an expansion due next year. I hope they actually finish it this time.
Hey, maybe they'll finish the main game. Wait, I say that.
I'm just considering they've got to chase their tails. If they don't keep putting out content to bring in money, they can never finish what's already there.
Oh, they're putting in content. There's an Edge Runner series coming out on Netflix for them this year.
Really? I did not know. I do like me some Cyberpunk. I'm assuming animated.
Don't know.
Good question. I mean, I'm oh god, with all the people that are just like, oh no, Cyberpunk was a massive failure, and there's a lot of people like, no, Cyberpunk was amazing. I'm kind of stood on the fence going, I can't decide either way. I'm in the middle of playing it. I need to get back to it on stream because I've got bored and gone off to Tiny Tina's. Which is an awesome game. If you've not played it, oh my god, Tiny Tina's.
I've seen you play it. It looks pretty cool. Not gonna jump down that rabbit hole myself.
Yeah, same.
It's a good game. If you like Borderlands games, you'll love it. So
in this case, literally rabbit hole, with it being Wonderland.
It looks like it's gonna be an animated series.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just
I think that could be quite interesting.
I could get behind it with an animated series just because I mean, even if it's like CG animation or, we're talking about actual anime style, they just have a lot more freedom in what people could do with the characters.
Yeah. You don't need to abide by realism.
Well, they could go horribly wrong. Remember the movie we watched?
Yeah, there was the Monster Hunter movie.
Oh, God.
But then look at the other side of the coin.
Bad.
Yeah, it was fundamentally bad. But then you look at the other things like Arcane, which Riot have put out recently.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
I've not seen that.
Yeah. Go and watch it. Okay. Seriously.
Okay.
Dude, Sliver, do the thing.
If you know nothing about League of Legends, and apart from the fact that its community is one of the most toxic on the planet, the one thing I want you to take away from this is that the devs of the game are absolute lore nerds. Every single character, every single sub-character, every single skill, weapon, ability, there is hours and hours of lore on everything. It is insane. There is essentially an infinite amount of content they can make from what they've already got, and they're producing more. It's such a cool world.
I mean, the problem with the problem with League of Legends is not the games per se, it's the community.
Yeah.
Right? If you're looking at the game for the lore, it is phenomenal. If you'd like, and then the TV series just brings that more to light.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then there's the Magic the Gathering card game crossovers. There's a D&D crossover in the works. I've stopped referring to it as League of Legends and started referring to it as Runeterra, because that's the world that they're in.
Oh, is that that's the name of that? Okay, yeah. I mean, I think I've played I think I played Dota 2 a bit as a MOBA, and I could see why it's so bloody toxic. Because there's like I've also been watching JP play it, because he's oh my god, the current streaming thing is there's no new games. Everyone's panicking.
This year is just bereft of big titles. Like there's a lot of things out that I will pick up.
Yeah.
I'll eventually pick up the Skywalker Saga. I've just picked up Lumencraft. Chrono Cross has just come out. There's we might be getting Advance Wars 1 and 2 this year. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I will pick up that are baseline good, but there is not a single game I am excited for the rest of this year. Yeah. Just none.
Did you hear the fun one about Advance Wars 1 and 2, actually, quickly?
That it's been pushed back?
Well, no, not that. Someone had already preloaded it onto their Switch.
Yeah, they got it running for like 27 minutes or something. It was weird.
Well, no, I think they managed to get far. I don't know how far they got into it, but yeah, it's just like they had it preloaded and they must have had it not go online to change the unlock date. So it just unlocked when the original release date was.
Yeah. The weirdest one of those I've ever seen was on the Xbox 360. If you downloaded the demo for the SNK games, like Metal Slug and King of Fighters and things like that, downloaded the demo for whichever Modern Warfare was out at the time, I can't think which one. Load Modern Warfare, hit your home button, and from that menu, load any of the SNK games. It booted the full game, not the demo.
Oops.
Yeah. Two completely separate companies, just something in the coding tripped out the game and forced it to load it was just that one game. You couldn't do it from anything else.
Okay.
So weird.
Interesting.
Caedes, have you played the Kingdom Hearts series?
I have, yes. I have played all the main series and about 50% of the randomly named offshoots.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts 4 is announced, but I must admit I'm not that excited for it because it's similar to Final Fantasy. It's now that story is finished. We're moving on to new things. Though someone did think they spotted an AT-AT's foot in one of the trailers, so we could be getting a Star Wars build.
I mean, yeah.
Down for that. Keyblade versus lightsaber. I'm down for that.
No.
Oh, no. A Keyblade lightsaber.
A Keysaber.
Keysaber.
I don't know. Never played Kingdom Hearts. I watched Sarin play it. And it was brilliantly stupid. It's like, if you love Disney, Kingdom Hearts.
It was so much fun. The Cactar on there was one level where you're collecting parts and it builds this giant Cactar to unlock the next path in the room, and it did the whole the fanfare for Final Fantasy. And then the whole thing just tips over,
just falls over. Wait.
It is a very childish looking game, concealing a very, very deep and aggressive, mature story.
Yes,
so good.
Yup.
And you're going to be playing that, aren't you?
I might have to get a PlayStation 5 first.
Oh, I'm refusing to buy a PlayStation 5 until the next Final Fantasy comes out. Yeah. That will be the point at which I buy a PS5.
Right.
I guess all depends for me, like what other titles will be coming out for PS5. I mean, there's going to be there's rumors of another what was it? The Star Wars Fallen Order.
Yes, that is true.
Right, there's rumors of that one, and that's what I'm excited for. They did a really good job with the first one.
I've got another game for you that is one I'd buy a PS5 for: Horizon Forbidden West.
Well, the problem is you can get that on a PS4. So there's no reason to buy it. I am waiting, and I'm not buying it on a PS4, and I will get it on PS5, same as Miles Morales. But I don't think that's a good reason to buy a PS5.
For me, there's another reason, because my PS4 is currently tied up in the living room upstairs. My little guy, uses it all the time. If I had a PS5 hooked up into my desk and I wanted to play a game that I had specifically for PS5, you've got that PS5 stream to the PS4.
Remote play.
Yeah, remote play to the PS4, and that's be like, I'd have fun with that.
Yeah. I mean,
looks like Game Pass and PC. I'm like, I don't have Game Pass.
So, I mean, actually, you don't have Game Pass, which, random thing, and to anyone in chat as well that's a streamer, Keymailer I think they announced that they've got the Game Pass freebie again.
All of April.
Go poke them if you've not got it, or if you've not got it, you get at least a month's free Game Pass.
The reason they're doing that is that they're on the lead up to the next phase of Game Pass, which is probably going to be the Family Pass. So
yeah, there's been rumors of that. Yeah,
we may be throwing some copies around, Sarin, for you. Because I'll upgrade. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, there's also been rumors of the PS Now system changing as well. So they're gonna what is it? PlayStation Now merging with PlayStation Plus.
Coming a single subscription, yeah.
Yeah, and you end up with all the games from PS4, PS3, PS2 on there, which is a really cool thing. They're not doing any new games on there, but you get access to all the older ones that maybe you never played before.
Well, I think they're going further with that, because there's also the other side of the coin there, where PlayStation have teamed up with Lego, which probably means that all Lego games are likely to be exclusive now. Going forward. But also they're now working alongside Epic, which means we may get a similar Game Pass style thing through Epic for PlayStation. So
interesting.
It's a possibility. There's no yes, no maybes on that yet, but I'm really keeping my eye on that, because if I can go back and play some of my old PS2, Shadow of the Colossus, Trapped, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's games that I want to play Shadow of the Colossus. Technically, I could go out and find an old copy.
I could reach behind me and pull it off the shelf.
I could just go around your house and play it. Then fine.
You can stay the hell away.
I don't know where he lives. It's fine for him. Yeah, no, but there's definitely a load of games that I like. I have a Sony a PS1. I need. Yeah. I've been meaning to play games on it. I actually went out and got myself a HDMI adapter for it, so I could stream it if I wanted to. In fact, the other day when I started Horizon Zero Dawn was when I started. I put on the roster doing. Oh god, not Mass Effect. Oh god, my brain has entirely forgotten. Hang on.
Metal Gear Solid,
and off he goes.
Metal Gear Solid. There we go. Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid.
I can see. I've got a box in front of the cases. Otherwise, I'd have been able to see it from here. But Metal Gear Solid on original hardware, because why not? It also, I tell you what, you don't appreciate how good graphics have got until you look at one of the old game systems like that. It's like, holy crap! We thought to think this was good.
I look at the box beside me, and the first thing I see is Crisis.
Ooh, still a good game. Still a good game.
Never played it.
You are definitely right with the graphics, but one thing I will say, especially with Metal Gear Solid, that game uses music so well.
Yeah.
Like we haven't got better at using audio in games, I don't think. From PS1 era, the quality of it's better for sure.
Yeah.
But that game is peak music. Yeah. The ambience and the audio and the specific use of tracks in particular places and it's so good. Such a good game.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's been any that I think of that, like music, like sound wise. I mean, supposedly the new Unreal Engine, Unreal 5 is better at it, but no one's done a game that covers it. Like I'm just trying to think through the leading edge of gaming, as it were. Like Half-Life had good. I think Half-Life had good spatial audio, but you're thinking like sneaking around, I guess, and hearing footsteps of guards going past.
I mean, if you want a good Half-Life game that has good spatial audio, I'm gonna go back to Half-Life Alyx for the VR.
I need to play it.
Like, oh my god, that was so good.
And what I'm talking about is less. Oh yes, I can hear footsteps, and more just building up the ambience in the background, building up suspense. Actually using music as a tool of storytelling, rather than just that sounds like a crowbar.
Yeah. So I mean, possibly Hades.
Hades is very good. Yeah. Hades
I was trying to think of an example that I may have played and seen, and other people may have played and seen, of like the way the music, when you go into like. Literally each track has like 5 or 6 layers that can just turn on as things get heated.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of that, I really do enjoy the audio, like from Halo. Like the music there.
They are consistently good.
Yeah.
One we've been playing recently that tries to use it well and I don't think quite hits the mark is Monster Hunter Rise. All the elements are there, but somehow just don't quite gel together for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is something that we've said offline before. Is like with the Monster Hunter series, if they don't go for something that's a much bigger, like possibly non-Switch, with like they do with Rise, if the next big one is an open world, more proper open world style one, that could be sodding amazing if they do stuff like the tracking properly. I imagine that. Like if you're actually having to track, say, a Jagras because you need to catch the damn thing to get one of its get its tail or one of its scales, and like and you just see this big footprint next to you, just like, oh shit.
Honestly, I'm hoping they take that one step further. There's no reason we can't hunt a Jagras to use as bait for a Devil Joe.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You hit, you hear the B-52.
Yeah.
And just like everyone hears that whatever they're fighting, there's like, no, we're leaving now. Everyone just scatters.
Just get out. And it's pretty much guaranteed that the next one won't be on Switch because they tend to do the A team, B team always rotate. Switches, the Rise is made by the B team, which means the A team is currently working on the next game, and the way they do it is A team pushes the boundaries, B team stabilizes it, A team pushes the boundaries, so they always release in rotation.
Okay.
So the next one should be primary console / PC, and will probably have a lot of new features and a lot of new tech. If past releases are anything to go by.
Interesting. I'm looking for. I mean, it's not going to be for a while because Sunbreak is in 2 months.
It'll be in 18 months, roughly.
Yeah. So
I would imagine we will be looking at the release of a new Monster Hunter in around 18 months to 2 years.
So Christmas 24.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds...
Probably summer 24, to be fair.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll hear about the release around summer 24, but yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty consistent with their releases.
That's good. But then again, they're also pretty consistent with the quality of their releases, unlike some places.
Speaking of, that could take this conversation anywhere.
Oh God, yeah, I know. Speaking of what we were talking of earlier with CD Projekt Red, it's just like, oh God, no.
And back to the top we go.
Yeah. I've literally put the title as "Where Are We Going?"
Yeah,
I might have to get rid of that at some point.
Well, to get us back on track, CD Projekt Red, Witcher.
New Witcher.
New Witcher. So another game I've got to add to the list. Hey, Sarin, have you done the thing? Which one?
All the thing.
I haven't even done the thing of getting to the thing.
I haven't even made the list of thing to do the thing.
My thing this year is all the Final Fantasy games. I don't have time for other things.
No. I mean, the top thing on my list is procrastinate about the thing.
Yeah. Oh, you see, I got so good at procrastination that I put off procrastinating until tomorrow.
Oh, master at work there, master at work. But yeah, no, the Witcher saga announced, which is, I'm guessing it's a new Witcher and a new story and a new everything. Because I don't know how like Witcher 1, 2, and 3 go. Are they a different main character or
no? They're all Geralt.
Yeah, same character, just progressing in the story. The thing about Witcher is timelines are weird in The Witcher.
Right.
I think that the problem is that the games are non-sequential. So from what I've been told and from what I'm to understand about it, The Witcher 1 is the short stories from the books. Witcher 2 is the novelization, and then Witcher 3 is all of it combined with the short stories turned into side quests.
Okay.
I think that's the gist I get from it.
I'm not the same. Not in what I've heard. It's weird.
Yeah, I think It's Weird covers it pretty well, to be fair.
Okay. What I've been told, if you want to know in which point in time you are in the game, take a look at Geralt's beard.
Okay.
If the beard is shorter, you're back in time. If it's longer, you're gone
forward a bit, and then he shaves just to confuse you.
But from what I can gather, the Witcher's symbol is the wolf, Fenrir, right?
Yeah.
So the icon that they've used in the snow in this one is more fox-like, which I'm guessing is probably relevant to one of the characters. I know the name Ciri.
Yeah.
Maybe it's her Witcher symbol instead. So maybe it'll be a game about her. Maybe it's the part where she's missing. It's her side of things.
We still have to see where her story goes in the TV series, though.
Well, I can't watch the TV series until I've played the game, and I can't play the game until I've read the book. So I'm a little far behind at the moment.
I've already watched the TV series without playing the game or reading the book. Which,
I prefer to be disappointed in the order the creators intended.
It's very cat-like, actually. The thing. In fact, it's got whiskers. I'm just looking at the image now. It's not a brilliant res image I've managed to find, but it's got whiskers.
Yeah.
So
and they've
from the links.
There we go.
The links. Yeah. Okay, that would make sense. They've also said that it's not The Witcher 4.
Yeah, it's a new. It's supposedly a new. Not IP because it's the Witcher series, but it's a new story.
Also, that one you've just put up on stream, very much reminds me of the Stargate Anubisaths.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'd love to make an armor of that. I really would.
You got a 3D printer?
I do. Oh god! Don't start me on that. No, it's sat there doing nothing.
But yeah, so I mean, CD Projekt Red. Let's face it, they're good at what they do. So it's probably going to be good. It's an IP they know. They're falling back on something that they're comfortable with.
Doing it in a new system.
Yeah, the first one not to use the Red engine, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's not the first. It's the first game since Witcher 2 not to use it because Gwent and Thronebreaker used Unity, but they're
not games; they're card games. So
yeah, they're doing it with Unreal 5. So that could be interesting and hopefully they push the engine hard because Witcher, like from what I've seen of the few gameplay bits I've seen, is like there is a lot of like big scenery and cool looking fights and just generally artistic stuff they could do in there.
Yeah, and it is another one of those worlds where it's not so much about the value of it isn't in Geralt. It's in the setting, it's in the world, it's in the characters. It's a good place to build stories from.
Yeah, there's a lot to the universe.
Yeah.
As it were.
They could quite easily do a Mando style spin-off. You know, it's not Star Wars, it's just in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the big thing that a lot of people are going to be like, though, is especially for the next couple of years, people talking about it is: are CD Projekt Red going to? Is the same thing going to happen to Cyberpunk that happened to Witcher 3, I think, and Witcher 2, where it came out and it was promised well, and they then had to sit there and batter it with a hammer to get it working properly for ages. Like, if that happens again, I mean, a lot of people are going to have been burnt from Cyberpunk because it being it's not a new IP because Cyberpunk 2077 is based on the old Cyberpunk. It's based on the Cyberpunk series of role-playing books, I think, comics.
Yeah, comics, books. I think there was even a web show at one point.
Yeah, so it's based on that universe, but I think it was the first thing there. And I wonder how many people are going to look at that and look at the release history of the Witcher ones and be a little bit hesitant. It's probably also why the only thing we've had confirmation of is there's a new game coming. Wait about 5 years. That's about all they've said.
I think they'll play it very close to the chest, and if they're smart, they will keep the publishers well away from it.
Yeah,
because that's one of the big problems they had with Cyberpunk was just the people who are giving them money saying we want this, we want that, and we want it now, and it was just impossible to meet all targets.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably remind me of the card game Netrunner. I remember that game. That was fun.
What do you mean Rip Netrunner? It's still going, dude.
Yeah, it's the underground. Well, it's no longer officially going.
Yeah, search in Discord. There's plenty of community still playing it.
I know a friend of mine did Netrunner. Was a massive player. Was I think played in national championships. But
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it just suddenly just died. Gone, which was really annoying.
I think the boom of similar games was the problem for a lot of ones there.
Yeah, because I know there was a Star Wars one as well that came out there as a living card game.
Yeah. And living card games are difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, the one I used to play on Steam was Infinity Wars. Nice, unique style, completely animated cards. That was quite interesting.
Cool.
But there's just so many. Do you play Magic the Gathering? Do you play Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you play the new Pokemon one that's coming out? Do you go back for something old because you know it and you know the rules? Well, but there's not many players.
Yeah.
There's just too many.
And then there's Hearthstone.
There's Hearthstone. Oh God, Hearthstone. Yeah, which, I mean, as Kremlik said earlier, rip Heroes of the Storm. But Hearthstone's another one that's just like, what?
Well,
what's going on?
If they do finalize the takeover, I'm really hoping that Microsoft bring back Heroes of the Storm, because I will admit I did like that.
That was a great, fun little MOBA.
Yeah, there was no items to worry about. There was no last hitting to worry about. There was no I'm leveling up faster than my team. It was just nice, simple, clean, go have a fight, 25 minutes, done.
Yeah, it was a bit like Pokemon Unite, which has fallen off the radar as well. Like, I know you played it a lot.
Well, you say that. It's confirmed 70 million downloads as of yesterday.
70 million, yeah, across I mean, I've downloaded it 3 times. I have it on Switch, phone, and desktop.
Was that mobile as well?
Was it on
or was
desktop?
that just Switch?
I think it's on desktop?
You can get it on BlueStacks.
Oh, sorry, it's only on
BlueStacks,
Android.
okay.
It's only Android and Switch. Sorry, yes. Which one am I thinking that's on all 3? No, I'm getting confused with Genshin Impact, which is on phone and PC. It's phone and Switch, and too many games.
And we're so hang on. There's too many games that we can't keep track of, and we're worried about the ones that are not coming out.
Ain't that always the way?
Well, and on that bombshell, it's been an hour and a bit.
It has.
We've managed to talk shit about a lot of stuff. So, thank you.
We managed to talk a lot about nothing.
Yeah, that's great. Literally the title. Where are we going? So I think we'll do a few shout outs, say bye, and see where things go. So let's start with our guest for the evening, Caedes. Give him a little shout out and see what we're doing.
Yes, well, straight after this, we will be continuing with some Monster Hunter Rise, because it is overdue for a hunt. But other than that, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. So
Thank you for coming.
Caedes regularly, well, as I put on, streams are regularly Sundays evenings.
I stream. I have been known to stream, and Sundays.
Irregularly and Sundays, yes, is about the option there. Yeah. So Sarin.
As far as I go, with it being the holiday weekend, my stream is going to be a little bit delayed tomorrow and shorter than normal, so I'm just going to play some Atlas from the test server and see what's broken there.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. So we're going to mess around on that, and then Wednesday back with some more Mass Effect Legendary Edition, playing Femship Story with your guys' votes as to which path I take, so definitely check out there on the Discord, or join my Discord so you guys know when that's going live.
And you can find that link over on his Twitch in your panels, I think, for the Discord.
Yeah, you can just Discord in the Twitch chat, or just follow me on Twitch and get notifications that way if they ever show up.
Yep. And I'm TBSliver, as it says right there. I am live again tomorrow with some Tiny Tina's Wonderland, although I will be joining Caedes for some Monster Hunter Rise. So if you want to see me hit things with a giant guitar, come and join us there after this. Otherwise, yeah, I'm live Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m.-ish GMT I've put there, UK time. It's BST at the moment because, times change. And I stream all sorts of things. So, yeah, I'm TBSliver on all socials. So, yeah. Apart from that, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Caedes, for joining us today. It's a bit later than normal than when we normally start this live stream, but it has been fun and worth the wait. Hopefully we'll have Caedes back on at some point.
If you guys are still around, make sure to
children's parties and weekends.
Yeah.
If you guys are still around and want to see more, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and follow button.
Yeah. And apart from that, yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a good night, folks.